Good news from our channel sponsors, thefogofwargames.co.uk. They are offering all of our channel subscribers 10% discount on top of their already discounted products, with free delivery on all orders over £35. Just head over to the website and enter The Ministry into the discount box on checkout to get your extra discount and support the channel at the same time. Hello and welcome to the Ministry Miniatures, and today I have a very special video. I have been very kindly sent the Forward to Berlin new Soviet Army starter set. Here it is in all its glory, the brand new box. It's not out for another month, it's up for pre-order, but we have been sent it by Warlord, so thank you very much, and we will be looking in the box and seeing what comes in the starter set. But first of all, let's have a look at the box itself and what it actually looks like. So as you can see with the artwork on the front, it covers some of the figures you get inside. So you can have snipers, you can have the NKVD, there's even a dog on there, and plenty of other stuff. So we'll come and have a look at that. But as it says, it's the Soviet Army from 1943 to 1945. It's the starter army. This comes with 42 multi-pose hard plastic Soviet Army infantry, Warlord Resin and metal miniatures for 2 machine guns and 1 medium mortar and a platoon officer. You get a ZIS-3 divisional gun with crew, 1 hard plastic T-38-85 medium tank and a hard plastic 156 scale Katyusha multiple rocket launcher, so that's quite nice. And it also comes with a plastic and MDF bases, decals and vehicle damage markers. So that's the artwork on the front. Let's have a look what is on the side. So it gets on the side here, there's just goes through the bits that are on the front in different languages. To the side here you can see some of the infantry poses and the tank. And then, yes, on this side you can see what it comes, 42 infantry, the Katyusha, the tank, the ZIS gun, and you can see the mortars and machine guns across at the top here. So very, very nice indeed. And then finally on this side, it just goes through some of the recommended paints you'll need for the box. So quite a nice size box, not huge, but it's nice and compact. It gets everything in it. There is nothing on the back. But let's get this open. I use a trusty scalpel. Be careful if you do this at home, but let's have a look inside. So I have the plastic cover off, the cellophane's off. Let's have a look inside what you get as part of the Forward to Berlin set. So straight away, that is the Katyusha. We'll have a look in a bit more detail for that in a second. There are 2 of the sprues that are the additional bits. You can see on there, there's cape, dogs and all sorts. So we'll have a look at those shortly. And in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I wasn't expecting that, but there are 7 of those sprues. Very, very nice. Compulsory markers for being hit, the flames, etc. Then this is the mortar crew, the machine gun crew and the platoon commander. So I'll open those and have a better look in a moment. This is the ZIS gun, which looks like the original one that we've had for a while. So that comes in metal, again, very nice. Then inside we have plenty of sprues. So it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sprues. I think they're all the same, but we'll have a look in a bit more detail at all of those very, very shortly. So 7 sprues, each looks like it's got 5 or 6 men on it. So it looks like 6 men. And then, yes, there it is, the tank, which looks like the ones we've previously had. So all very good. Then inside, we've got the bases for the machine gun and the mortar, bases for the artillery, a few spare infantry bases, and then the T-38 medium tank assembly guide for the Katyusha. There are the decals, which is very nice. You've got some ones for different vehicles there. And again, you can use it for different nations if you wanted to do Finnish. And this is the Soviet Army infantry. So let's start with that. Let's have a bit of a closer look, and then before we go through the sprues. Okay, so have a way of looking. Mirella, thank you very much for packing this. Always appreciated. So we will look first of all at the let's have a look at the tank. So the T3885, this pretty much looks like the one we've had before. So here are the instructions on how to build it, which looks very, very straightforward, and it comes in the bag. So let's have a bit of a closer look at the sprue. Okay, so the tank sprue, you can see all the elements here for the fuel tanks on the side, and the main body of the tank. There's some fairly good detail in there, and the armaments, but this is nothing new. We've had this previously, so it's a nice, solid, easy to build, pretty standard Soviet tank, which, as I say, is straightforward to build. If you've built these tanks before, the Warlord Games tanks are pretty straightforward. You know what you're going to get. I normally stick some coins on the inside here just to add some weight, but there's some nice detail on there. And in fact, I've actually got one I prepared and built earlier from my start of my previous Soviet army. So there we go. That is what the tank looks like when it's built. So let's pop that over there. Next up, we've got the Katyusha. So this is a new kit. I don't believe we've had this for a while. So you can see the instruction manual is pretty comprehensive. It's got all the details around what the different parts are, how to build it, starting with the chassis, working up to the driver's cab. A nice illustration of there, what the Katyusha looks like as an illustration. And then it goes on to building the crew and further finishing off the truck and putting it all together. So it's quite a few bits there, so take your time. I will build this up later, but this is what it'll look like when it's finished. So quite a nice finished product, and quite a nice thing on the battlefield actually, because the multiple rocket launchers are nice. But let's have a look at the sprue itself. So let's get the plastic off. So here we go. Different elements for the Katyusha. You can see the basic chassis here. The driver, there's some good detail on the driver there, as well as the cab, which is armoured, which is always quite nice. And the cab itself comes with the door second, so it looks like there's two crew members. Some nice details there on the wheels. So that's the first sprue. And then the second sprue has all the guidelines for, these are the for the rockets to go off from, the supports, and lots of different elements here. There's the crew on the ground with some spare helmets and arms, so different options there. So interesting, I thought these would be resin when I saw them online, because the crew have particularly big arms. I know a lot of people made comments, but this is good because it looks as though you could actually quite easily swap that out to be a commander, and put different arms and a head on it, or just change the different arms to have a different pose. I think that is very doable. So that is nice for the Katyusha. I'm quite pleased with that. Next up, let's have a look at the infantry. Okay, so first of all, this is the chart and the leaflet that comes for the new Soviets. So there's some details here around base coating the uniform and what colours to use for the rifle, the boots, the helmet, etc. You can see that comes with an anti-tank rifle, and again there's some more information for the NKVD there. So it's a helpful painting guide. Looks like the sprue comes with a chicken, lots of machine guns, some Molotov cocktails, and again you can see there the NKVD, Soviet snipers, and some more machine guns. So let's have a look at all the details on here. So as you can see, there's plenty of heads and helmets, pistols, machine guns, etc, etc, but we don't want to see the leaflet, we want to see the sprue itself. So let's start with the smallest sprue, which is these ones here. So as I say, you get a few of these. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you'd only get one. So there are bases, there are 2 cloaks, which is quite nice actually, because if I don't use them for this, they could actually go on if I want to do some Cossack cavalry. Might be quite nice to put them on cavalry. Dogs, so there's plenty of dogs there. They don't come with mines by the looks of it, but that could be easily sculpted to have a mine on it, which means that we could have the bomb dogs that we had in the Second World War. There are some nice arms there, a knife, pistol, and some pouches. There you go. So that is actually quite a nice sprue. I'm going to look at what I can do with those dogs, because I did want to have a bomb dog team, and I've seen videos online from films where the mines detach. So hopefully I can have detachable mines. Maybe I could do it with magnets like they were, and then I can keep the dogs alive, especially because Archie, the channel mascot, my dog, wouldn't want a mine strapped to him. But anyway, let's have a look at the main sprue here. So as you can see, we have the NKVD helmets, so the hats, plenty of detail on them, lots of different faces, some with glasses. So let's have a bit of a closer look. So here we go. These are the new heads for the Soviets. So first up is the NKVD heads. Different poses, different styles, even one with glasses, so that looks very nice. It comes with 2 female heads there. It looks like a civilian head with a wrap. So that'd be good for the factory workers if we wanted to do a unit from those. And then a couple of guys with no hat at all. But you can see the character in the face is just amazing. I really like these. And then another hat there, which looks to be an officer's cap, which is very good. And then just a normal cap there. A couple of entrenching tools, and again, the details you can see are really crisp and clear. They are very nice indeed. Then you can see here there's a couple of grenades, a couple of pouches. Then these are the puncho rolls, are they? The rolled capes, which they put around their bodies. A couple of packs and rucksacks. Panzerfaust, which is quite nice, especially because these are representing later war. There's enough rifles and machine guns on here to make either SMG squads or rifle squads or an LMG squad. There's plenty of poses. So you can see there's one at the carry there, one at the carry with a bayonet, one that's reloading, which is very nice. The detail is really crisp and clear, and I'm really liking these new sprues. There's the first of our machine guns alongside a running comrade. So you can see the detail on his clothing, and even on the bottom of his boots there, if you look, you can see the detail on his soles of his boots. You can see all the straps and the buttons. Absolutely amazing detail. I love these. These are going to be very nice to paint up. Kneeling pose, compulsory in my armies. They're usually the NCOs, so that'll probably be the same here as well. The anti-tank rifle, which again looks very, very nice. Let's move on. There is an LMG, which looks like it's going to be over the shoulder carrying a pair of binoculars, which we'll have a look in detail on the other side. And the bipod for the LMG. Oh, that's nice. So it's some kind of stick or baton. or a truncheon that's being used, hopefully not to keep the dogs moving. There's a pouch there which is quite good to either use as a medic, or if you want to use them with some anti-tank or some kind of explosion for a scenario. And he's wearing an armband as well, so probably that'd be good for a medic, so you could make that a medic. There is an LMG there, 2 LMGs, 3 LMGs, so plenty of LMGs on this side of the sprue. Moving across, there is another LMG there in the forward carry pose, which is quite nice. Then there is the rifle, which is the SVT-40 rifle, and there's the chicken that we saw on the cover art, which is quite nice detail. I'll be able to use that for different armies actually, because there's going to be plenty on there with the sprues. Another rifle, but again you can see the bolt action and you can see the fingers. It's such a good detail on these rifles. A pouch or a sack over the shoulder, which would be quite good for a variety of different troops. Then there are 2 more of the soldiers here, so you can see all the buttons and pouches pop really nicely. Even the belt buckle looks really, really good. There's very, very slight marks here which I'll just need to take off, but they are hardly noticeable. The camera definition is just bringing them out. Then another comrade with some kind of jerkin on, which is quite nice, just breaks it up and has a bit of variety. Another machine gun, and you can see there the detail on, he's got a jumper underneath and a watch, which just really looks amazing. That machine gun detail is very good. Another rifle with, you can see all the mechanism and the details on his fingers. A loud hailer, so that's quite good for the NKVD squads, and various armies. Sniper rifle, very good. A shouldered rifle. So again, the details on these really, really do look very, very nice. I am so looking forward to getting an army up. Another bolt action army there, slightly different top on them, so that's quite nice. It's always good to have a variety of tops. And then down this side we've got some pouches. There's the Molotov, pointy finger for the NCO, different pouches and rucksacks, before we move on to a variety of pistols and some more entrenching tools. So that all looks very, very good. Then we can see here there's a machine gun. They're using the MP40 and reloading it. And then these helmets here, some of these can be used for Siberian veterans. They're actually highlighted on this pack here in red for Siberian veterans. So the detail is absolutely brilliant on these, and actually the MP40 could be probably crossed across and used for the German veterans. So there we go, that is the sprue for the Soviets. Okay, so next up, this is the rear of the hats and helmets. You can see some nice detail there where the hats and the hair are, especially on the female ones, and the tied back headscarf. They're the back of the packs, which don't really show much detail. You can see the cuff there, there's a nice line on it just to denote where it comes across. Again, the rifle details on these are really, really nice. And then this is the detail to the rear of the infantry sprues. So you can see their little pouches and their straps are all nice and clear, so that should be easy to do. And of course you've got the hobnail sort of rivets in the bottom of the boots on their soles, just to help it stand out. There's the binoculars that we saw earlier, so nice finger detail, and you can see the lines on the binocular which just help it stand out. Again, the machine gun detail is very nice on that, should pop quite nicely when it's painted up. Moving across to the machine guns, again, I do like the simplicity but the detail that have gone into these, because it just means that actually these should be really nice to paint and to pick out very easily, those details. I mean, look at the buttons on the collar, on the cuff there, just help it stand out. And it's the same as we go up through the rest of these, just makes very, very nice sprues. So there we go, that is the infantry sprue. So let's now have a look at the medium mortar and machine guns. So first up in the pack is the commander. He is in resin. Nice detail on him. He looks like he is going to be the commander for, I'll probably use him for the artillery actually, because you see on the mortar and machine gun, because he has his foot on a box of ammo and he's got his binoculars looking to where to fire. So a little bit cleaning up will be needed on him, but very nice crisp detail, really nice facial features, and I think that would be a nice figure to command. So that's him. Then the mortar has one guy here who has his pouches and his packs, but he will be holding on to the mortar itself. He's got the sort of Cossack type hat on and plenty of straps and a water bottle ready for action. So very nice detail on that figure. There's another guy carrying in the ammo. So I just love the detail on the faces. They are superb. I absolutely love them. And he's got a machine gun in his back and he has an ammo pouch there. And actually he's got a second, there's an additional part for this which has, he's carrying another pack and then the mortar shell, which will go on the base with the mortar itself, which is metal, but these are the additional parts for that figure. And then the final guy, he's got a shell already and he is concentrating on getting the shell ready to fire the mortar. So that's the mortar guys. Then obviously there's two machine guns. So let's have a look at the two guys that are in support. So he's bringing extra ammo. You see, again, very nice detail. Slight bit of cleaning up will be needed, but that's what you expect with figures really. It's gonna just take a little bit off the helmet and the rifle there just to tidy it up, but generally it's pretty good, and there's even the bolt for the bolt action rifle sticking out. So he is supplying the ammo, the third guy. The actual machine gunner himself has a head is off the sprue, not the sprue, sorry, but he comes separately and he's got his pouch and he's there. So you can see he's got holding the machine gun ready to fire, and his head, they both come with helmets, so that's quite nice. We'll be able to swap those around quite easily. And then the actual loader himself has feeding the machine gun belt. He's got the epaulets on the top there, which is quite nice, which helps him stand out. And he's laying on some bits and pieces on the bottom there, so they will be very nice indeed. So you get two of those, which is good. Let's have a look at the ZIS artillery. Okay, so opening the packs, you can see there's the two machine guns. They come with the wheels, the main gun, and the pulley system for the medium machine guns. There's two of those in the pack, and the mortar as well. So it's quite a nice mortar set for the Russians to use, which is good. And then the crew are metal, so straight away see the detail change between these older metals and the new resin and new plastic. So these are still nice, but they're not quite as crisp as the new ones. You look at the pouches, they don't quite stand out, but they will be manning the artillery piece, so the details don't necessarily need to be quite as strong. But there's an NCO's stroke officer for the artillery piece, and then the third guy is carrying some shells and again has packs and pouches and a rifle over his shoulder, so that will look quite nice. And if anyone's seen the ZIS guns before, it is quite nice. I need to straighten that barrel just slightly, just in transit it's bent, but that should be quite straightforward to do. You get plenty of the support struts and bits and pieces, the wheels, so I need to look up how to put those together, and the gun shield. So all in all, that's going to be a nice artillery piece. You only need one artillery piece for bolt action. That is what comes with the new Forward to Berlin set. So very nice indeed. I love the set. It looks really cool. It will go perfectly with all the stuff I've already got, and it will be very nice for us to do for our next stage of our Barbarossa to Berlin campaign. So as you can see there, I've got the Battle of Berlin set, which is where I've got the tank already from. So for me, that's good because it can all go together. And we are already pulling together. So I've got the Battle for the Reichstag, which is slightly smaller, but I wanted the Reichstag. It's going to be an end piece for a final battle, which will be taking of the Reichstag, which will finish our campaign. If you haven't seen our campaign, go online, go and subscribe to our YouTube channel and just follow us through. We've gone all the way from the beginning of Barbarossa. We're currently assaulting the tractor factory, but we'll be working our way through Stalingrad and all the way back to Berlin, which will finish in the Reichstag. But I've got some buildings, I've got some spare buildings, I've got some European buildings. They're all going to be built. We've got Soviet villages, and we will do the road back to Berlin with this new Soviet set mixed in with some of the old stuff to make sure we've got a really comprehensive and amazing looking army. Hopefully you liked what you saw. Don't forget, this is a new set from Warlord, so please check out the description below, and if you want to get it, use our affiliate code. It helps the channel out. Please subscribe, keep track of our campaign, give us a thumbs up if you like the video, leave some comments, tell us what you think, what you'd like to see coming out in future for the Stalingrad and the Soviet armies, because I think Warlord are going to be bringing out some more stuff very, very soon. But this set is released on the 1st of November, so they are taking pre-orders. So thank you for watching. Don't forget, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment, and see you all again soon.